Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
And turning to local news now, total funds raised has come in for the Sprinkle the World with Kindness and Donut Challenge. Friday marked the official end of the campaign, with charities stopping into Mother Teresa's school and accepting their checks. That's great to see. The campaign was successful, raising funds towards 6 organizations in the community. Staff are proud to see these students support organizations aiming to help people and animals, like the Rescue Squad, Kids Sport, and the Border Paws Animal Shelter.
We really strive, and our vision is to have students be a part of the process and learning through hands-on experiences. So what we started with is we started by inviting them by being a part of the local organization fairs. So the family and the students, they got to travel around, learn about some of the local organizations that help our families and our animals in our community.
Now, through the 3-week campaign, the target was already reached by week 2 at $7,000. They then decided to up the goal to $10,000, and listen to this. By the end, these students raised over $11,000 to go towards local charities.
That's the part that's kind of awe-inspiring. It's just seeing the hockey teams come in and challenge other hockey teams. So then you've got kids helping kids to help their community. So it was just being paid forward every day was someone else showing up, or someone coming in, cleaning out the shelf, an anonymous donation of over $1,000. Like we want 250 packages of donuts.
The nonprofits receiving these donations are highly appreciative for the support. The school plans to continue this fundraiser for next year so kids can stay consistent with doing good work in the community. And it's Monday, so now it's time for us to look into the PTLN archives in this week's edition of Retrospect. We start Retrospect in 1994, with parents fighting to keep their kids in border city schools.
These local parents are concerned regionalization of Alberta school districts will force their children out of Lloydminster Public Schools. Right now, about 80 Alberta students who live in the county of Vermilion River District are bused into border city public schools. The parents want to make sure that regionalization doesn't change that.
It just is the home base for us to go, and to drive 10 minutes to school now, or half an hour on a school bus to go to Kids Sport, it just does not make sense to us.
I realize, this regionalization is that we're in a change, and we're in for a shake-up you've never seen before, and things have to be done. And this is when I think, people have got to start to work together for the best of everybody.
Last night, the parents wanted a promise from the Lloydminster Public School Division that their students could stay in border city schools. But board officials say the decision is out of their hands.
We are pleased to continue to serve those families in Lloydminster, but again, because they're not our residents, we can't guarantee them continued attendance.
The parents say they will take their concerns to the county of Vermilion River and even Steve West to make sure their kids stay in Lloydminster.
Well, I think maybe we'll get together as parents and see how much more we need to do, whether we approach the county and express our same interests that we just approached the Lloydminster Public School with. And that could be, but I think we as parents need to sit down and talk it over now.
And in 1997, Lloydminster officials proposed building a new city hall.
A few weeks ago, city councillors announced a proposal for a new city hall. The plans would see construction at the Old Meridian school site. The mayor has confirmed the city will hold a public meeting on the issue.
We still have to do some more work on that before we get too anxious about what's going on. And once we have a better handle on which way we would like to see it go, then I guess the next thing would be to have a public meeting. Hopefully there would be a lot of people come out to that.
Many historians want to keep the building from being torn down. Members of the Centennial Association are relieved there will be a public meeting.
I'm very pleased that there is going to be a public meeting. I think this is an important issue for the community, and I think it's one that needs public debate and discussion, and one that an issue that everyone should have a chance to have some input on.
The mayor says he's already received some input on the project.
We've had good comments so far. Basically, it's about time you built a new city hall. That's a good location for the city hall. I've had one or two say, well, don't tear down the old school. Somebody else says, tear it down. So we have a big decision to make eventually.
Dr. Foster feels the Meridian School gives the community a sense of identity.
That inspires people. Like, one of the reasons for preserving artifacts and locales and so on from the past is that we not only honor the people that have been here before and show some gratitude to them, but they're inspiring to us as well, because it symbolizes that what we do in our life may count in the future.
A public meeting is expected within the next 2 months.
This has been our week in retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.
And now let's check in with Shelby Clark for a look at your evening weather forecast.
Thanks so much, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking a first look at your weather forecast here in the border city. We are starting off this week slightly cooler. We are just sitting around -10 with that wind chill feeling, twice times that with that around -20 degrees. So it is looking, feeling slightly cooler outside. So make sure you have layered up and you are trying to stay warm out there. But we have been seeing a lot more sun peeking behind those clouds throughout the day. So that did kind of help warm things up. And we are going to be seeing these conditions kind of warm up later on through the week as well. So just be patient. Looking at our school day forecast for tomorrow, as I was saying, starting off for the kiddos out there, they're going to be starting off at that double digit as they head to school. It's around -10 as they go through the day. They will be slightly warming up to around -9 to -6 degrees by the time the day is out, although they will be getting hit with those flurries by the time they get outside. So warming up, but you're getting the good with the bad. The condition-wise with those flurries, it's going to be kind of cooling things down just slightly, but should hopefully be warmer as well out there for them. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, most spots are following suit with us here in the border city. Around -9 to -10 degrees is what most spots are just sitting at on our Alberta side. We have a lot of -7s here for Wainwright down in Provo, St. Paul, and Cold Lake. Then we got slightly warmer with -6 in Bonnyville and even -5 up in Lac La Biche. So not looking too bad as we are seeing single digits in most of our areas. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are actually even looking slightly warmer compared to our Alberta side, especially up in Isla Crosse with -3 degrees. Go a bit lower and they start to slightly cool down from there. Most are just sitting around -6 to -7 degrees. -5 there in Green Lake, and as we go farther down to Maidstone, they're just at -9. So slightly cooler in Maidstone, more matching with us here in the border city. North Battleford will be going down to a low of -11, so won't be cooling down by too much for the evening low temperature. Condition-wise, it'll be a calm evening, I would say, for North Battleford, so kind of expecting a nicer night than what they have been seeing last week and throughout the weekend. Then for their daytime high tomorrow, for their Tuesday, -6, so that single digit, although be prepared, they will be seeing those icier conditions as they are going to be seeing some flurries later on in the afternoon, around an 80% chance of some snowfall. So be prepared, have those shovels ready. Looking at Cold Lake, they'll be going down to a low of -10. They will be getting hit with those flurries later on in the evening, around 1 to 3 centimeters of some snowfall. So as I was saying, make sure you got your shovels ready because it will be hitting a little bit earlier on for everyone there in Cold Lake tonight. And then as they head into tomorrow, they will be warming up to that -5. So definitely getting that single digit, warming up slightly from what they are sitting at right now, although they will be seeing those flurries kind of continue on through their morning into their mid-afternoon, another 2 centimeters additional of some snowfall. So yes, definitely be prepared. We are getting some of that winter treatment now. For us here in the border city, we will be going down to a low of -12, so not cooling down by too much from what we are just sitting at right now, although we will be getting that snowfall later on in the evening. So be prepared. We are going to be getting hit with that tonight here, and then we also will be experiencing that continue on into our daytime. For tomorrow, we are also warming up to that -5, although be prepared. We are going to be getting around 1 to 2 centimeters of some snowfall, so you know, never put away those shovels. We never know what's going to be happening this winter season. Never know what's going to change up. And now ending off the look at your 3-day forecast, we will be looking at those single digits tomorrow and even seeing that continue on for Wednesday and Thursday. So be prepared. We will be warming up here later on in the week. And that's all I have for a first look at your weather forecast.
All right, thank you so much for that, Shelby. After the break, Saskatchewan has the second lowest unemployment rate in Canada, but is facing a labor shortage. And turning to sports now, the Lakeland Wrestlers women's hockey team faced off against Red Deer in the playoffs this past weekend. Game 1 on Friday with Red Deer taking the win 2-1. Game 2 was on Saturday. Lakeland lost a 3-1 game, which eliminated Lakeland from the playoffs.
When it's over and the finality of it's always tough, but really proud of our group. We were our game 1 up in Red Deer last night. We're really pleased with it. It really could have went either way, and we fought hard tonight, but just wasn't meant to be.
Coach Morgan Mann has high aspirations for the team looking forward into next season.
We obviously need to get better, and so we look forward to that opportunity next year, and our players are another year older, and we're excited about the recruits we have coming in for next year. So we look forward to getting started in the fall again.
The ACAC Championship Series is set now. Red Deer versus Nate on Friday, March 17th. And now it's time for us to check in once again with Shelby Clark, who has another look at weather.
Thanks again so much, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, now taking another extended look at your weather forecast. We will be starting off with our central zone of the provinces. And on the Alberta side, we are looking quite warm starting off this week, I would say, compared to last week for sure, because even most spots are just sitting at those single digits. -7 over in Jasper, so we are looking at the warmest condition over there, and also seeing -7 there in Cold Lake. The rest are just a few degrees cooler, -8, -9 in most spots that we are looking at on our Alberta side. Then we are looking at those -10s for Edson and Red Deer, and -11 in Whitecourt. So Whitecourt is definitely looking the coolest compared, but you know, still just hitting -11. I think we've seen worse in previous years, so no complaining. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are continuing that warm streak from what they were looking at last week. They were seeing some warmer conditions compared to our Alberta side, so seems like they are kind of starting off on that track already for this new week. All are just seeing those single digits. The most popular one is just -6 for most spots on our Saskatchewan side, looking at -7 there in North Battleford, and then Saskatoon is looking the warmest with -5. Now switching over to our northern zone, they are on a warm streak as well. Starting off, they are matching more with us in our central area. The coolest we are looking at is in these spots here with those double digits, -10 there in Uranium City, -11 for both Wollaston Lake and Stony Rapids. The rest are seeing some nice single digits. -6 for La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, and then we got the warmest conditions here with -3 and -1 there in South End. Now going back over to our Alberta side here, they are looking slightly cooler from what they have been seeing last week. We are seeing some slightly warmer conditions here with -5 and -6 for Slave Lake and for McMurray, and then -8 there in High Level. The rest are kind of still continuing those that cool pattern that they were looking at last week, especially Grand Prairie, as they were looking at those double digits, and it seems like they are starting off already today, as they are going to probably see that continue on through the week. -10 for Grand Prairie and Peace River, and then we got the coolest there for Fort Chipewyan with -12. Now going over to our southern zone, as we kind of expected, they are looking slightly warmer compared to the rest, even with most spots on the Alberta side with seeing those plus temperatures. 2 degrees there in Banff, as 4 and 6 for Medicine Hat and Lethbridge, so they are looking quite warm. And then we have some that are in the minuses, but still seeing those single digits with -4 in Calgary and -7 up in Coordination. And now ending off with looking at our Saskatchewan side here in our southern zone, they are slightly cooler compared to our Alberta side, but still not quite hitting those -10s just yet. -8 there in Regina, while it's -7 in Yorkton, and the rest are just seeing between -4 to -5 degrees. So looking quite warm, no complaints there. I think we are seeing some beautiful conditions already starting off this week. Now looking at our overnight lows that we will expect tonight as we head into our Tuesday. Definitely some nicer temperatures that we are expected for tonight, even some with those single digits. Meadow Lake and Isle Cross expecting a low of -8 to -9 degrees. Then we are expecting a low of -10 to 11 for Bonnyville and Provost. And then Paradise Hill is expecting the coolest with that low of -12. But that is the coolest we are seeing without that wind chill. We will probably be feeling closer to those -20s, of course. And as you can see, all these spots are going to be expecting a high chance of some flurries later on in the evening. Besides Provost will be seeing more of a calm night tonight. Probably the most snowfall we will be seeing for Isle Cross is 3 to 6 centimeters, and Bonnyville is expecting 2 to 4 centimeters. So make sure you got your shovels ready. Looking at our Tuesday in the border city for our hourly forecast, we are going to be starting off slightly cooler with that -10 there in the morning. And as I was saying, we are hopefully going to be warming up later on through the week with seeing those single digits for our daytime highs. That seems like that is the case for tomorrow as we go through mid-afternoon. We will hit that -5 and then slightly cool down back to that -12 there tomorrow night. So we will be seeing, I think, a beautiful day for our tomorrow. Now ending off with a look at your 7-day forecast for here in the border city, we will be expecting about 1 to 2 centimeters of some snowfall, so it won't be too much flurries, but still going to hit us. And then we will be expecting these single digits to continue through the week and even seeing a mixture of some sun and clouds. So I would say we got a beautiful week ahead here in the border city. That's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackey will have our news coming up for you after the break.
So I'm here with Jennifer McRobert about the Spring Sport and Leisure event. So Jennifer, do you want to tell us just a little bit more about what this show is going to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a trade show for gearing up for spring and summer coming up. So we've got pretty much everything that could keep members of the community busy for this warmer months coming our way.
And what sort of products will be shown off at the show?
Yeah, so we'll have anywhere from landscape and land care equipment to home renovations, cabin renovations, and all small businesses with unique products that you can't find anywhere else on an easy basis. So,
can you tell us a little bit more about where and when this event will be taking place?
It'll take here at the Lloyd Exhibition in the Saskatchewan building and the Alberta building. We are in conjunction with Sellers RV as well, so Sellers RVs will be here as well. And it will be held on March 24th through to the 26th.
And will there be any sort of entertainment at the venue, such as to keep children entertained during the show?
Absolutely. So included with your door admission, you get admission into our reptile shows, which will happen on Saturday and Sunday. There'll be 3 shows throughout each day. So 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. will be the reptile shows. So come on in with the kids and get to see some reptiles up close.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the admission prices?
Yeah, so kids 12 and under are free, and then 12 and up are $10.
And will there be any special pricing for elders or anyone else of that fact?
Nope, that's about it for our pricing. That gets you into the show admission and plus the reptile show. So everybody can go to that, and yeah, it's just $10 at the door.
And can you give us an example of what kind of vendors will be at the show to show off their products?
Yeah, absolutely. So here from Lloydminster, we have Novlands and Tingley's will be in with some of their tractor equipment. Some other examples that we have are Arctic Spas and Power Leisure, Freedom RV and Marine, Revolt Motorsports, RecTech Power Products. Those will be our big bulk spaces. And some of our smaller ones, we have Iron Jet Exteriors, we have Sunset Gourmet, Norwex, Tupperware. We have a little bit of everything, so it's going to be awesome.
And do you have any remaining thoughts on any topics that I just haven't brought up?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. So yeah, we've got hot tubs, motorcycles, boats, lawn equipment. Sellers RV has the entire Culligan Water Building, like they usually did with our previous shows. And yeah, it's just going to be a great time. So come on out. The show hours on the Friday are from 10 to 8. Saturday is from 10 to 7, and Sunday is 10 to 4.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm happy to be joined here today with Tyler McMurchie with SGI, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about fraud when it comes to insurance claims, and SGI actually has a special unit for fraud cases that seem to be, a little bit deceiving. So thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm happy to be here.
Of course. Now, tell me a little bit about what the Special Investigations Unit is and why SGI has it in place.
Yeah, it's something that's very common among insurance companies. Essentially, at SGI, it's a team of employees. They have law enforcement backgrounds, and their job is to find the truth. And so, if there are claims that appear suspicious or unusual in nature, they'll often be brought in to put their investigative skills to the test and to find out what the truth is with the claims. And on some occasions, they do uncover somebody trying to commit insurance fraud, trying to get benefits they may not be entitled to.
And now you kind of released some of the top 5 fraud cases, and I read through them, and some of them are actually pretty funny. How'd you get away with this? There was one where he drove his car onto somebody's lawn, into a parked car. When you hear or read about these fraud cases, tell me a little bit about your kind of reaction to them, how you feel. And, some of them do seem right off the bat, this does not seem right. Tell me a little bit about how you react to those kind of cases.
Yeah, essentially what these cases kind of demonstrate is whether or not they're involving tens of thousands of dollars or less than that, just the lengths people will go to try to defraud an insurance company. And people have to understand that when you defraud an insurance company, it's not just about defrauding a big bad insurance company. It's about defrauding the customers, the other customers that also do business with that company as well, and it increases the cost of insurance for everyone. So that's one of the reasons why SGI feels it's important to find insurance fraud where we can and reduce it where we can. And the efforts of the Special Investigations Unit did save SGI and ultimately SGI customers $5.8 million last year.
Wow, which is amazing. And like you said, it doesn't just affect the company. A lot of people like to take down big, bad corporations, but it really does affect other people who are using the programs and, actually using them for what they're intended to and not trying to, almost kind of scam the system.
And for the record, SGI isn't a big bad corporation. I just have to make that clear.
Definitely not. But you have the big company name, and
Sure.
people will always take that as something that it shouldn't be. When SGI does a lot for Saskatchewan and the whole province as a whole. Now, what are some of the, I guess, the penalties people could almost have if they do try to defraud SGI specifically?
Yeah, there are consequences to insurance fraud, whether it's SGI or another insurance company. It starts with having your claim denied, and so you will be out. You'll be on the hook potentially for not only the cost you've incurred to any damage to your property, but in some of these cases, there was damage to other people's property as well, and that's something that even if SGI was to pay out a claim to the other customer, they would then try and, it's called subrogation, try to recover the money that was paid out as a result of that claim. So in a couple of these cases, those customers found themselves on the hook for tens of thousands of dollars because of the damage they caused and the fraudulent claim that they subsequently submitted. Denial of claim is one consequence. There might be other situations where a customer might not be able to do business with that insurance company in the future, or will have their claims looked at more closely. Their premiums might be affected by that if the company does decide to do business with them. There's also, in some cases, criminal charges that can result from attempting to commit insurance fraud, because there is a criminal code offense that relates to insurance fraud as well. So these are all potential consequences. It's a really good idea to not attempt to defraud an insurance company.
Yes, definitely. That should be a little bit common sense, but clearly reading the cases, it's not always there with some people. I think desperation, I guess, plays some part in that as well. It would. Now, is there anything else that you would like to add in regards to these fraud cases, or even the Special Investigations Unit, or when people go to make claims for insurance?
Yeah, I think the thing that we would like to stress with this is, if you have a potential insurance claim, just make sure that you tell the truth throughout that whole process. SGI in particular is not looking to deny people benefits that they're entitled to. So tell the truth of the circumstances, and the coverage should be there for you if you are entitled to it. And it's just important to make sure that you operate in that utmost good faith that is called upon by the insurance contract that you sign as a customer. And SGI has to do that as well.
And just one final question: is this common? Does SGI see a lot of these kind of fraud cases throughout the year?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, it happens more often than we'd like, and it's not something that's unique to SGI, of course. There are estimates in the insurance industry that upwards of 10 to 20% of cases involve 10 to 20% of claims, I should say, involve some element of perhaps exaggeration or deception, something that might lead to a customer attempting to get more benefits than they are entitled to. It's something that, as I said before, costs all of us as insurance customers. So that's one of the things that SGI is trying to do when it looks for and roots out insurance fraud.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's awesome that SGI has something like the investigations unit to help, combat the fraud cases that you do see. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby.
Heading off with another quick look at your 7-day forecast. Be prepared for some flurries tomorrow. We will be warming up to that -5, but have those shovels ready because we never know when those flurries are going to hit. Then Wednesday, we'll see a mixture of some sun and cloud at -7, and we will see that warm pattern continue on through the rest of the week. So we head into the weekend. -4 Thursday, looking at that -3 Friday to start off the weekend, and then a beautiful weekend ahead with those sunnier days that are coming ahead with -2 on both of them. So make sure you are getting out there and enjoying the nice weather while we have it, because we head into next week. We will also be starting off quite warm with that -4.
All right, thank you so much for that, Shelby. You heard her bust out those shovels, but once we get past Wednesday, it looks like we'll be seeing some pretty warm temperatures. That's our show as we start off this week on Monday. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a great night, and we'll be back here again tomorrow.